There we go. Hey everybody, how you doing? Yes, we have news today. Hopefully you all can hear me. Can you hear me? Just making sure before I get going here. How's everybody's what's today? Monday. How's everybody's Monday going? Mine just got a lot better. um yeah, we're organized. Oh, and you can see my project, the project bench right back there. Very cool. Awesome. You tighten that down just a tiny bit. Yes, Scalextric have a new distributor. I have notes. I have notes. Um, so yeah, yes. Happy New Year, Bo. Happy New Year, Philip. Auto Enthusiast Network. You guys can hear me okay, I'm assuming? Just wanted to check. I'm going to wait for another couple people to get in here before we really start. Cheers. Got a big glass of ice cold water here. Hey, Frank. Hey, Andy. 28 people. Not too bad for an ad hoc Monday stream. Just got my hair cut. Yeah, I know you're not here for that. Time for bourbon. Yeah, right. I'm not a big fan. Much prefer scotch. But in any case, we got 30 people in here. We're going to go. Yes, Scalextric have a new distributor. And yes, it is Professor Motor. We had been getting this rumor, not me only. By we, I mean pretty much everybody had been hearing about Professor Motor being certainly one of the people in consideration from the beginning, and it is official. It was official as of a little before Christmas, I believe, but it's been finalized, and I'm very happy about this. Everybody should be happy about this. If you're not a fan of Scalextric, you should still be happy about this. Why? Because we need strong U.S. Sales for slot cars across all of the brands. We need uh, people. Yes, Professor Motor will be an excellent distributor for them. We need Carrera to be pushed to make better and better products. That is helped by having a strong U.S. Distributor, having strong U.S. competition, and Professor Motor is a really strong actual distributor. They are not just a distributor in name only. They do a lot in the hobby. They always have. I'm very happy that it's been them getting this. We've kind of been hearing about this for a while, like I said, but now it's finalized. It's the real deal. Yes. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, West Coast Red Stream. They need to re-release their track adapters today, Red Stream says. So, hello, Ad. On those topics, I got lots of notes here. We're going to start with kind of basic stuff first. First, this news comes from Hornby itself. This is not, second party or third hand news. This comes to me directly from, I just had a phone call with Chris Stokes, who is the U.S. VP of sales for Hornby Hobbies, not just the Scalextric brand, for all of Hornby Hobbies here in the U.S. So just making that point off the top here, where this news is coming from, this is verified. The contract is a 2-year contract that renews automatically unless one of the parties decides that they don't want to renew it. This means that ideally this is definitely a long-term contract. I would say that this is in everyone's benefit that this be the case. So I'm assuming that that's what we're looking at here. What else? Okay, so bits and pieces here. New cars that will be shipped from Vietnam. That order has been placed. I don't know where it is in the process yet. It doesn't really matter, frankly. But the point is, there are new cars that will be shipping to the U.S. soon, actually soon. There also will be previously available cars that hadn't been to the U.S. that will now be shipped to the U.S. from England. So we're going to get those back shipments of cars, and they will be available here. You know, I can't tell you exactly when. It doesn't matter, quite frankly. It soon, actually soon. There we go. So Redstream, again, there's no. We're talking about the distribution here, so other Scalextric questions have to be kind of waited on till I get through the news here. New items will be listed when dealers are given the okay to list them, probably by Professor Motor, because when you're a distributor, whether you're in the U.S. arm of a company, like when I worked for Scalextric or Hornby, I didn't just work for Scalextric, the brand. I worked for Hornby UK, but for the arm that was their U.S. distributor, the office in the U.S. So when things will be listed is basically up to Professor Motor when they feel comfortable saying, okay, or knowing that, okay, this will be getting to our warehouse. We know exactly when, or it's already gotten to our warehouse. We're going to list it now. I don't know how they go about listing things. Usually when a company lists something, it's because they're 100% sure it's going to be there, or it already is there. It's up to Scalextric, or it's up to Professor Motor, rather, to make that kind of business. I have not talked to Professor Motor yet. I have not talked to Oliver yet. So I don't, this is from the point of view of Scalextric. So, not Andy, but I wish Andy was a great guy. Oliver will be answering these questions himself as far as, when things will be here. Those are for him to say, not for me to say. I can say that, they will be the only U.S. distributor. There are no other distributors for the Scalextric brand here in the U.S., period, end of story. The next thing is, I don't know about Canada specifically, because Hornby UK does ship directly to Canada. So I don't know how this relates to the Canadian market. I'm sorry. I think that's probably a little bit yet to be determined, but this is good news in general. Discussion about the prices. I have some very specific wording I'm going to share that I have settled on. Again, prices are set by the manufacturer to the distributor, and then the distributor sets the final retail price. Okay. There will be MAP pricing. MAP is minimum advertised price. So in theory, there will be a price set by Professor Motor for the minimum price that someone can sell what's considered a new car, or however they decide that the terms of their MAP pricing are. Okay. So what you won't see for a new car is the wildly varying prices on cars. You will see basically the same price across all U.S. Retailers for a new car. I'll have to talk with Oliver about, what, if he's willing to share, what the MAP pricing actually means. But that's generally what it means. Like when I worked for Hornby, for Scalextric here in the USA, we set the price. We had a MAP price, minimum advertised price. When I worked for Carrera, I helped get in place the minimum advertised price that we had while I was working there. So it's definitely something that is needs to be answered by the distributor themselves, not me. I am not trying to do that. However, they are looking at getting cheaper prices. I would not read too much in because we don't know what that means yet, other than to say that the idea is that the prices will be cheaper than they currently are, very likely. That's great news. Very happy to hear about it. Charles Spector says Canadians will either get a direct route to avoid the U.S. or buy from Europe. Exactly, yeah. No, not like Pendle's. Pendle is not a distributor. They are a retailer. Dealers in the U.S. should not buy from another retailer. They should buy from Hornby themselves. There's this misconception that like, I mean, you buy from Scalextric, you buy from Hornby, you don't buy from another retailer to resell. If you're doing that, you're pretty much not a real retailer, or you don't have a account set up. If you're a legitimate retailer, you can get an account set up with a manufacturer. You're not getting shipments from a retailer unless you're getting onesie twosies of cars, and that's like anybody can do that. You don't need to be a dealer. So I don't get that logic, and the logic in business terms makes zero sense, makes less than no sense, because if you're a retailer and you order from the wholesaler, the actual manufacturer, that is, you get the lowest possible price. If you order from a retailer in another country, you're getting it at some price they decide above their own cost, makes sense, not at the actual cost that they got it themselves. A bit of a departure there, but people need to understand that that's normally the way of things if you're a retailer and not just someone doing retail sales as a hobby out of your garage. Just the case. So what else do we have here? So every new car that Scalextric releases, every new car, with probably one or two exceptions, like the Australian supercars, I'm guessing, because those are directly commissioned by the Australian distributor. I believe every car, that's what I was told anyway, will be brought into the U.S. in varying quantities, which that's the way it was when I worked there. We would decide ourselves what we brought in. There was no, minimum that we would have to bring in because we were part of the company. We weren't our own business. I hope you understand. So, all of the new cars that get released in England should be released here. Now, obviously, there will be some cars that don't come in as in very high quantities, but we're going to be getting everything essentially, and that's great news. There is going to be, as kind of a side note, not necessarily with the news here, there is going to be an announcement. I believe the announcement of the new product range, I believe, is going to be January 14th, something like that. So, hey, Moondoggy. So we're going to be getting all of the new range releases pretty much from all of the brands that Hornby do, including the one that most people here would care about, Scalextric. So, we'll be getting information about that very soon, and Professor Motor is going to have them all. Very, very exciting news. Very good news. And again, like some guys will say, well, I don't buy Scalextric cars. Why should I care? Because having, there's really only two big brands now. The biggest two companies are Scalextric and Carrera. They just are. They're doing millions of dollars of business here. They both are. And the other companies, the smaller hobbyist companies, don't do those kinds of numbers here. We need two large companies like Scalextric and Carrera to both be doing good business here, business to mass market, good retail sales business as well. We need all of that happening here because it just really gets the U.S. market. It's stronger, makes the U.S. market definitely stronger. It's excellent news that, frankly, all of this is happening. It just really is awesome. Let me see here. So, okay, so I've been told, and this is yet to be decided, there may be a meeting of some sort coming up in the next not this month, but in the next month or so here in the U.S. I may be going to that. we will see. So there's definitely a lot more to talk about here. This is kind of the 5,000-foot view of what has happened. All of these things put together really add back in a tremendous amount to the market. Like I said, even if you're not in the habit of buying Scalextric cars, this is just absolutely incredibly important. And I'm very happy that Scalextric have done this. Yes, it would have been great to have this before Christmas, so we could have had all of the new products available, or some percentage of the new products available for Christmas this year, because losing a year as far as sales go when you're a manufacturer is just, it's very damaging, and and it's not ideal is what I was told, which is a great British understatement. So yeah, it's just fantastic. I'm very happy about all this. There's definitely going to be a lot that comes with this. Hopefully, there's a lot of things we could speculate that might happen. Racing that might happen with various championships. Who knows? There's a lot that could happen with such a strong distributor. Professor Motor have an excellent list of clients. They do ship to a lot of different people. That's probably, I had started to talk, I'll be honest with you guys, I had started to talk with this guy, Chris Stokes, last July, I believe we talked, and we did a video chat, and I was vague in videos because I really couldn't say what was going on. Initially, there were 3 businesses that were being that had been narrowed down to, as far as I had heard. And during that conversation, I named them to Chris, and he said, yes, those are the 3. So, it's been a process, and it's been, frustrating, certainly for a lot of people that would like to have had this. Hey, yes, I'm a fanboy. That would like to have had this. Yes. Hey, Dickie. Yes. Professor Motor, new distributor for Scalextric. That it's great to be able to talk about this all now, finally, and to have all this be, to have come to fruition. It takes a long time to get this stuff squared away, to make everyone feel comfortable when you're going into a big partnership like this. There's a lot of things that need to be agreed upon. And to be fair, definitely Scalextric, I can tell you from personal experience, this has nothing to do with the conversation today, but there is usually a fair amount of turnover at Hornby Hobbies in general, and that does continue. So, if there are changes at the top with a company, it definitely has the effect of things, might change. So, there could have been an aspect to that. That's completely speculation, but there's a lot of moving pieces, is what I'm saying. That's what it boils down to. And Professor Motor, Oliver, and the family need to be comfortable with the requirements that Scalextric would have for them, and obviously Hornby Hobbies in the UK, because there is no Hornby US anymore. Hornby need to be comfortable with who they have chosen, because it's not an easy choice to make. And I think they have made an absolutely excellent choice, without a doubt. These were the people to go with. Professor Motor is definitely the company to go with. So I'm extremely happy, and quite frankly, I think everyone in the U.S. should be. Yeah. Hello, Slackar Hub. Cheers. So that's kind of the news. Charles Speedster, Charles Bester. No, they do not have a distributor network in the U.S. They have a distributor. We need to be careful about our language. There is not more than one distributor. It is Carrera of America, not any retailer in any other part of the country other than New Jersey. There is one distributor for Carrera of America, or for Carrera. It is Carrera of America. There is only one. All other companies are only dealers, period. We need to be clear about that. So yeah, Mike Santee said would like to see Scaly beef up their line with new track and digital stuff. Absolutely. That's the kind of thing that a U.S. distributor can request, get them to focus on. It's definitely important. Toyota truck. It's definitely important to get one good, strong distributor in place to have things make sense then, because a distributor can say, okay, we will commit to buying this many pieces of a new track piece. And that's the first question to answer Mike Santee's question, or his statement, is to say, this new product development is largely led by a guarantee of sales from manufacturer to a distributor. So if Professor Motors say, oh yeah, we can sell 10,000 pieces of a new track piece over the next 5 years, we'll commit to this, here's an order, then Scalextric go ahead and do that. That's usually how a company works. Nice cold water. Yeah, people buy from Pendle. I know Pendle is just a dealer, though. I do not think they actually are at this. Hey, Doug from Magnetic Racing. Cheers. Great news here in the U.S. Scalextric has a distributor. So you can, if you're in the U.S., you can reach out to Carrera of America directly. Going back through some of the questions here, or some of the statements here. Yeah, the prices in Europe are definitely pretty high. In Germany specifically, the slot car prices are fairly high. And for some reason, Carrera of America has always been able to keep the prices low. When I was there for a little over 7 years. We kept the prices essentially the same on cars, maybe with a couple dollars increase, but not really. In Germany, when because I had been there a number of times when I worked for Carrera, prices in Germany were $30 more for an analog or digital car. A digital 124 car in Germany was like 120 euro plus, when we were selling them for like $70, I think, maybe. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers, but the prices here have always been fairly cheap. Ad Neil asks, why doesn't Scalextric start a pro line like RevoSlot? Because it's not their business to do that. Scalextric does not make that quality of car, that type of car. They have no history of doing that with success. They had a series of pro quality cars, they thought, which were horribly executed, that made literally no sense. They had some metal parts kind of thrown in with a chassis that was not really developed for it, with a body that was not really suited to it. So it's not really, it's not Scalextric's job to make cars for a very small market. Scalextric and Carrera make the broadest possible audience, products for the broadest possible audience, and that's all they should ever do. There are hobbyist grade companies or hobbyist oriented companies that do those kinds of products, and that is what is most important. Is Scalextric do a good job in their lane only, not get distracted and try to make something that they're not good at, that is not in their wheelhouse. It's like it just makes no sense. So that's basically why I don't want to say they wouldn't ever do it, because I don't work there and I'm not privy to that kind of information anymore. But when I worked there was no discussion about that. In fact, it was just what I explained. And a lot of the people that I worked with are still there at the home office in the UK. So I really doubt that's changed. I would encourage them never to make what's considered kind of a pro line of products. There are plenty of those available. Do your own thing, guys. Make your own modifications. Just do that. Prices. Oh, you're talking about Europe. Okay. Bo, I see. Yeah, Professor Motor have an excellent reputation. Someone commented here, they just Richard. Oh, hey, Richard. Richard Schaus dealt with Professor Motor a couple weeks ago. Top service and great guy. Congrats to him. Absolutely. I've known I knew Andy for quite a long time. I'd been to their previous location as well as their new location in Livonia, and I met Oliver a number of times. And I forget the mom's name. It was Andy's widow now. But they're great folks. They know what they're doing with slot cars. They are committed to slot cars. I can't say enough about them. And I am very, very, very happy that they've gotten this. Porsche Racer. Track. Can we get an update on track? Again, you asked that question a little bit ago, Red Steam. That's a specific thing, specific product information. That's not what we're talking about here. That would be announced by Scalextric themselves. This is not, updates about this or that kind of track. That's a conversation for a different day, and I definitely want them to see. Want them to do updates on certain things. Certainly, they need more digital products. They need more different kinds of track pieces, I feel, but that's not today's news. So, respectfully, we need to wait about that kind of thing. Porsche Racer says Professor Motor needs a flat rate shipping option to Canada. So not really possible, because there's no flat rate that they can themselves get. It's rates change. It's not a problem, Red Steam. I want to be clear about what we're doing here, and I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent. When there is news about new products, I will be thrilled to share it. That's kind of my point around this, or my point in the hobby these days. So yeah, it's just we need to be like, hey, Slucker Wild Man, I'll catch you back up. Professor Motor is the new distributor for Scalextric. Yeah, so definitely great news for the hobby, and the good thing. This is another side note, but people are talking about wanting new stuff to come. So here's the interesting part about that: because Hornby shifted production to Vietnam for their slot cars, that means that there probably won't be a delay for Chinese New Year. I don't really know how the Lunar New Year is handled in Vietnam as far as production goes, but I do know for the celebration of Chinese New Year, Gong Hei Fat Choi, by the way, I do know that Chinese New Year does hold up production and shipping out of China for like the two or so weeks, 3 weeks, while it is Chinese New Year. So, there may be a brighter point to that. I definitely, the other questions other than kind of the topic today, I do plan to ask. I did mention before there. I believe there's going to be a meeting where folks get together to be able to talk with Professor Motor and Scalextric sometime in the next month and a half is all I can really say. It hasn't been set yet, so it's kind of it's up to them, up to Andy, or sorry, Jesus, up to Oliver. When or if that gets set up. When that does, if that does, there's going to be plenty of time for specific questions about new products, new directions they may go, specific product ideas, that kind of thing. That's kind of the time for that then. Raining here in Chico, NorCal all day. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, California's gotten hit with a lot of hard rain, and after all the wildfires down south, definitely tough for you folks in California. My heart goes out to you. I lived in California. I lived in the San Francisco area for 2 years. It was the best 2 years of anywhere I've ever lived, and absolutely would love to live there again. But we're not talking about that today now, are we? Anyway, so I don't really, if there's any other questions, I can answer them. I have really gone over probably most of what I do know. Again, I'll recap it. It's Professor Motor. The deal was just finalized within the last few days, I guess I would say. Or just before Christmas it was finalized, and now this news was given to me just about an hour ago. Yeah, about an hour ago, on a call with Chris Stokes, the VP for Hornby for U.S. sales, and it's the cars that hadn't been shipped over the last couple months, I believe now are going to be shipped from stock that is available in England. That will be shipped, obviously from the Hornby, the home office, their home warehouse. New cars have been ordered, I believe. I got to be careful about my language here because people's expectations of orders and shipment are very different. So new cars, the idea for an order for new cars, the order has been placed, I guess, and to the company in Vietnam that does the production. They will probably leave Vietnam soon, let's say, and be shipped to the U.S. The contract is basically an automatically renewing 2-year contract, unless one of the parties decides after 2 years that they don't want the deal anymore, which I don't see happening. The U.S. will be getting all of the released cars. So I don't know if that means like all of the specially commissioned cars that may get done, let's say for Australia, because there are supercars that the Australian market get that we never have been able to get, or I should say never have been available outside of the Australian market. Certainly not to the degree that they should have been, but so that's kind of parsing a little bit, but you kind of need to. They are working on setting MAP pricing, which is minimum advertised price, which is good because then you won't have a degree of, some retailer is going to charge you $70 for a car and one retailer is going to charge you $40 for the same car, for a new car. Usually there are set prices for new cars. That's usually what the MAP pricing applies to, and that would be all the dealers that would get cars from a distributor. That's what they have to sell the car for. Carrera, I believe, do have MAP pricing. That's why you see the price basically the same across all of Carrera dealers for a new release. And then after a certain period of time, retailer can lower the price, but it's usually like 6 months. Hey, Slotcar Man. Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of a recap now. And they are working on the prices being cheaper. That's in theory what's going to happen. But again, those prices will be set by Professor Motor. So they will be setting the price, so they get the final word on what that pricing means. So we need to just wait to see what those prices are, and just understand that that it's up to Professor Motor to set the final price. That's basically it. Again. So there we are, guys. Please give the stream a thumbs up, if you would. It means quite a bit. If you want to support the stream directly, which I would appreciate very much, you can donate to the Buy Me a Coffee page in the link that I just put into chat. That gives me the encouragement to do more videos, to do more regular content. It takes me about 20 hours a week to put into doing content for just this. I have a full-time job. I have 2 commitments to consulting gigs, one for LEB and one for Slot It and Polycar that I have to do. I'm doing help. I'm doing marketing for them as well. So if you all wanted to donate for as little as $5 a month or a one-time donation through the Buy Me a Coffee, that would be incredibly helpful and incredibly appreciated. There were a few people that just became new supporters with a monthly and a one-time donation as well. It just means so much to me that's the case. And thank you. Yes, please, everybody give the stream a thumbs up. It helps the stream get more views after the fact when it's a video on demand. This video has been done, this live stream is coming to an end here, was done Monday, January 5th, 2026. 2026 is also my 20th year of doing something I like to call Slot Car News. That's LEB. I will be working out a deal with LEB to sell some specific 20th anniversary something or other, probably a t-shirt that you will only be able to get through LEB. That is to be determined, but almost definitely will happen. There we are. Yes. Did I miss any great news? Yes. Scalextric have a new distributor. It is Professor Motor. And again, you might say, well, I don't really buy Scalextric cars. The point is we need good, strong slot car companies here. And Carrera and Scalextric are the two largest companies by far. And we need them to both have excellent, strong distribution. They would say that about each other, by the way. They have. I've talked with Hornby about this. I've talked with Carrera of America about this. Carrera of America want Scalextric to be strong in the U.S. market. They need competition. Competition is what capitalism is all about. So we definitely need everybody to do well. There you go. Photography for Enjoyment. Folks should follow Photography for Enjoyment's channel. He does a really nice job. Seems like a really great guy with little photo tours or walks. Not really a tour, a walk that he'll do. It's super laid back kind of video. He's not a pretentious guy in any way. Seems like a really great guy to hang out with. And if you're into photography like I am, I really love his work. Please go follow him. Please go follow him. Gary Terry, thanks very much. I appreciate that, from Yorkshire. Cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate the folks tuning in from not the U.S. Most of the people that do tune into my my videos and live streams and things are from the U.S. I think 50 or 60% of my viewers are from the U.S. But also, oddly, still 50% of the people are not subscribed to me here on YouTube. And you can subscribe for free. It's not a paid subscription. It's just like following something on Facebook. Under this screen now, you will see a little bell. If you click on that bell, subscribing just means you'll get email notifications, or in some cases, a push notification on your phone, so you know when I go live or a new video gets uploaded. It's entirely free to subscribe. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Again, it is completely free. And upping the number of subs, again, just helps me get more